Hello and welcome back to our AutoCAD 2008 Fundamentals. In this CAD clip, we're just going to talk about the interface. And the interface is really just the screen area and getting your input and commands into AutoCAD, and then AutoCAD sometimes throws it back at you and asks you another question depending on what it is you're trying to do. So really the interface is command input, output, and all of the different toolbars. Here we have our dashboard, we have our command line down inside of here. Whenever you see these little double lines, it means if you click and press on that, you can pull that off. That happens to be the standard annotation. Should be really a slash there, toolbar. I'm going to grab this one and pull this off. This is the workspace toolbar. I'm going to grab this guy, I'm going to pull this out to here. This is the dashboard, and with that dashboard, which is new in 2008, you can have different control panels. If you right click on that dashboard and you go to control panels, you can see there's currently the 2D draw, the 3D navigate layers, annotation, scaling, text, etc. The ones with the check marks are being displayed. If I go in here and I turn off, say, the multi-leaders, this one here, all of a sudden, bink, that one disappears. So this is our dashboard. Dashboards and toolbars are dockable. If you go near an edge, it'll start to kind of morph itself into that edge. If I go over here, if I go far enough, it'll flip it around. So the band goes on the left, and then again, you can, if you move it around enough, you'll notice that it will morph itself into there. And you can allow and disallow that. If you right click on here, you can say allow docking or don't allow docking. If you take this off, it's not going to dock itself in there at all. It's just going to sit like that, and then you can turn your flyout on or off. When you hover over it, it flies out, and when you move away, it disappears. We have a properties palette up here on our standard annotation. This toolbar brings up our properties palette. We use that a lot, and that is very much like our dashboard, except for it's more specific to the objects themselves. The dashboard is used to draw and create and all kinds of. Basically, the dashboard is a place where toolbars are kind of nested within that dashboard. The properties palette over here will tell you information on that. If you click on that circle, it tells you it's a circle, and this is all, and we can stretch this by going here. This is all the information it knows about that circle, and some of it you can change by clicking on here, and some of it you can't change. You can change the radius or diameter of that circle by making it 7 and hitting enter, and it'll change the size of that circle. So we have our properties palette. We'll talk about that in more detail later. Our properties palette, if we right click on here, we can also have allow docking, okay? Or we can go down here and see it says auto hide, which is, if I check that on, it's the same as hitting this, and if I go out, it disappears, and if I hover, it'll come back. So we have the auto hide, or the fly out as I call it, which is an option, and this little check mark down in the very bottom really turns the auto hide on or off. Now the auto hide is off, meaning it's not going to auto hide. If you take it now, put it over here, it doesn't dock. Okay, so I can right click back on here to set it back to the original state and say allow docking, and then if you do allow docking and right click, auto hide doesn't really matter anyway when you're docking. Okay, and you can dock that one there, and then you can dock that one over there, and we start to see that it takes up a lot of screen space. So my resolution is set to be about 1000 by 700 in this video. So we can take that and we can turn these. If we turn that off and it disappears, or we hit the X on here and that disappears and this disappears, okay, we can right click on any toolbar, okay, and then it'll list all the toolbars. Lights, layout, layers, okay, standard annotation, that's the one that we just had on. You can right click on any tool on any toolbar and it'll list all the other toolbars. You won't see the dashboard on here. To get the dashboard, now watch, because this is going to morph itself. when I move up close to there. And I'm going to take my workspace guy and move that back up to there. See how it kind of morphs itself into there. If I go up to, I believe under Tools, under Palettes, we will see there's the dashboard. To get that back, kind of hard to find. I wish they'd make it a little easier. So if your dashboard goes missing, go up here to Tools, then Palettes, and then Dashboard. Boom. Comes back on. Because there's no quick button over here. The Properties has a quick button. Okay? And the Tool Palettes, which is another palette in itself, we'll talk about over here. Okay, same type of thing. This tool palette has an on and off, but the dashboard, for some reason, doesn't. So, Tools, Palettes, Dashboard, on or off. Okay, so we have that over there. This is our drawing area. We zoom around. This is where our editing and drafting takes place. Down here we have our command line. We can click on here and we can type in commands. We can also scroll backwards. If we hit F2 on the keyboard, we can go to a big screen version of that, and you can scroll back and you can see everything you did since you started. And you can also cut and paste from here using right click, copy, and stuff like that, and paste down. You can't paste here, but you can paste down to here. So we can hit exit on there. Again, F2 on the keyboard I'm hitting toggles that on and off. And of course we have all of our pull down menus over here. File, Edit, View, Insert raster images, okay, which is what I did over here to get these two guys inside. The welcome logo and the CAD clips were just pasted in raster images. Insert, we have Format, Tools, Draw, okay. A lot of the stuff that's in these pull downs is also included in regular toolbars and in our dashboards, etc. So AutoCAD is infamous for having literally 4, 5, and 6 different ways of getting exactly the same command. You can go draw line, you can click line over here, you can click line on a different toolbar, you can type the letter L. Okay, there's at least 3 to 4 ways of getting every command in AutoCAD. So it's really a matter of what is best suited for you. They've brought in the graphic user interface, the GUI here, trying desperately to get us all to use toolbars, but a lot of people who have been using AutoCAD a long time find it just as easy to type in a short key. We're going to learn how to create some hotkeys, and it's quicker sometimes to just type the command than to try to go find where that command is on a toolbar or on a palette or on a pull down. Okay, so draw, dimensioning. All of our dimension tools are here, but then you'll notice we'll also have a dimensioning control panel here in our on our dashboard. So again, if I take my dashboard actually and I pull this out, you can see all the tools here on the dimensioning dashboard or control panel of the dashboard are the same as if you go up here into dimensioning, or most of them I should say. And if you right click on any toolbar and you call up the dimension toolbar, there's the dimension toolbar. So dimensions from here, dimensions from the dimension toolbar, or dimensions off of our control panel from our dashboard. Okay, we have our modify tools, erase, copy, mirror, extend, offset. Okay, you can type in, notice you can type in a Y or an E or an R, the underlined letters on here, meaning if you get this far and you just type in an F, it will be fillet. You'll get that command. Okay, again, erase, fillet, copy. A lot of these are over here on our modify on one of our modify control panels. I don't think I have that one up there yet. Notice if you hover over here, it gives you a tool tip. Dimensions, text. So I don't have a modify. I'm going to right click, go to control panels, and is there one? 2D modify or something like that? I'm not going to worry about it. Escape. We also have what is called heads up, a heads up control. If you type in a character like L for line, you'll notice shows up over here. We can disable this, but I've started to use it and I really like it. And then you can hit a backspace and type in M for move. So you get this little command window that comes up. As soon as you type something on the keyboard, it immediately kind of freezes your cursor and then bumps you in this little window where you can type in a command, okay? Or the response to a command, because as we're drawing, we can type L for line, and then it starts the line command, and then from there we can, type in from endpoint or midpoint, and we'll see that as we go. So just the user interface. Have a look up at your cursor and notice there's a heads up window there that's helping us and prompting us. We'll notice as we start to learn our commands, this where it says specify first point, it's telling us specify first point here. And then it says specify next point here, specify next point here, specify next point. So, and now to get out of that, I'm going to hit escape, and then I'm done. Okay, we'll talk about that command input in our next CAD clip as well. Just talking about the general interface. Okay, I want to erase that, so I'm going to go to my erase button over here. Click on here. There's our modified tools I was looking for. And then I can click on here because it says select objects. Watch. I'm going to click my erase button, and then look what it says right where my mouse is. It says select objects. Okay. Select this one and this one and this one. Am I done selecting? Yes. I hit enter. Boom. And then it erases it and I'm done. Okay. We'll talk about using our escape and our enter and our space bar keys to speed up our drafting process. So dashboard, various toolbars. It's like Mr. Potato Head. You can take this stuff and move it all around. You can even take your command line and move that. Some people decided to put their command line up top instead of down in the bottom, a little easier to read. We've got our help, beautiful help interface here. We can type in anything we want. M-I-R-R-O-R, mirror, okay, and then hit find. It's going to start up our help. And then it's going to go straight into our, in fact, what it's going to do is provide a drop down here using the mirror, and it's going to say, okay, mirror objects, concept, mirror objects, etc. So this wonderful little help interface here, searching the AutoCAD help menu for the word mirror, comes up with all these possible suggestions. And we can click on here and expand these and click on whichever one you want. Mirror objects procedure, and then you click on there. Starts up your AutoCAD help menu and then shows you what to do. To mirror objects, you click on here, click the modify menu, mirror, etc., etc. So you don't have to do this because I'm going to show you how to do the mirror command, but just as an example, help menu up over here. Okay, down over here we have snap. These are toggles using snap, grid, ortho, polar. We're going to learn about all of these. You can see your units are down inside of here. Anytime you're kind of caught in something, just hit escape a couple times on your keyboard to get you out of that. As you move your mouse around, you'll notice these units are changing. The 0 isn't because that's the Z. This is the X, this is the Y, and this is the Z. And it's just the coordinates of where your mouse happens to be at the time. We'll talk a little bit more. If you change this to be feet and inches, it will give you feet and inches. Right now it's just giving you decimal units. And the last thing, as we get over here, we're going to start to see some buttons in here we'll talk about in our advanced lessons on using paper space, not necessarily in our advanced lessons, some paper space buttons over here. Annotation scale, which was brought in 2008, which is super fantastic. Now you can set your annotation scale. This saves me a great deal of time trying to teach you about annotation scale because now it's all built in. So these are typical scale factors. 1/4 inch equals 1 foot, 3/16 of an inch equals 1 foot, etc. Some metric scales up over here. Okay, so imperial and metric scales, you can even create your own custom scale. And this sets the scale for the annotation objects. You don't set a scale for the model objects, the actual line work that you use to create the model. You don't scale, but the text and the dimensions and the annotation, cross-hatching, etc. will teach you how to distinguish between what is an annotation object and what is not. This will control the scale of your annotation. So that is worth the upgrade to AutoCAD 2008 with that one improvement alone. We have some more options in here we'll talk about a little bit later. So dashboard, command line, toolbars, menus, some of our toggles at the bottom, our units, our drawing area inside of here, and that is all I wanted to cover here in kind of a general lesson on the user interface for AutoCAD 2008.